Hello and welcome. So this is the game I'm going to be converting. It was made in Game Maker. It was made in 1 hour for the 1 hour game jam, and as you can see it was October 22nd, 2016. Before this I didn't know anything about game jams. This was actually really nerve-wracking for me, and doing 1 hour for your very first game jam, I don't recommend it, but I found it fun personally. If you want to watch it, there is a YouTube video, I'll link it up, but it's pretty dreadful. I'm going to play the game just to show you what I'm working against. So press start, we click here, and as you can see the orange will follow the mouse. So if I go to the end, we win that level, and as you notice the limes increase. So we need to have a lime, which I think I'm going to make 30. I'll make 16 by 16. Let's make it a circle, obviously, because it's a line. I want this quite dark. Actually, I don't. Ooh. I mean, it's not so bad because this is going to be quite far away. In fact, let's do that. Let's fill this in. That was an easier idea, right? So I'm not a pixel artist, obviously. I mean, I don't really need to say that, but yeah. So this could be a little bit darker, I guess. Just so we've got the segments. I don't really think you're going to see this at 16 by 16 anyway. Let's do some cest. Put it in. I'll probably be relatively quiet because obviously I'm going to be doing the code and art. So yeah, that'll do for this one. Export lime.png. Export. I'm going to do an orange because we're going to be the orange like in the game. So I'm going to make this 26 by 26. This time I'm going to just obviously make it an orange. Oops. I want it to look more orange than yellow. And I guess I could just put some spray on it as well, a little bit darker. I don't think you really can see that. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, once again, it's going to be small sprites, so we're not going to be able to see it that well. Orange.png. Let's export them. Now, I need a finish line and a start line, so I'll just make this 60 width, and I'll make this, I don't know, we'll stretch it out anyway, so 10. I'll just call it this for now. I'll leave this up open so I can edit on the fly, it's just there now. Export. We want this start.png and export that. What I want to do next is a finishing line, so I'm going to make this 32 by 32. When you get black, oops. And then we need white. And I'm going to export that as my finishing line. Brilliant. So those are the four sprites I've got. I'm going to see now about making the main scene. So we'll just call this main. Save it into the game folder. I'm not worried about folders too much because we've only got an hour. I'm going to make a new scene. It's going to be an area 2D because it's going to be the orange. Obviously, an area 2D needs a collision shape. Without it, it's functionally useless. It's going to be a sphere because an orange is a sphere or a circle. Oh, and it would help if I put the art in too. So I'm just going to make actually, you know what? I'll just put an orange folder, a line folder, etc, etc. Orange. Save it in there. Oops, I should have probably had this open beforehand. There we go, I can just drag it in now. Drag the orange in. Brilliant. So I'm going to make a game scene. This is going to be an auto load just so I can quickly call it, because we're not going to be moving around or changing levels. This is quite simple to do. So this is going to be a canvas layer. Now, if canvas layer is great is using as HUDs, because if you had a camera 2D, if you moved around, the canvas layer follows you. It just acts like a HUD. I'm going to call this game, and we'll add a script to it into the game folder. Also, I want to make sure that I save the scene into the game folder too. Now, in this, the game's going to determine if the player's alive or not. So we're going to have is var is alive as a bool equals false by default, because we need to click a button for us to spawn in, which will just make us visible. I'm going to do some onreadies. So we've got onready var. What are we going to do? We're going to do the orange first. Equals get node root main orange. Save. Now I haven't put this as an auto load yet, so I'll do that now. Add it. Now it's auto loaded, which is great. So now we can call the orange from anywhere else. Now with the orange, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna put a script on it, and it's gonna go in the orange folder, which makes sense. And what we're gonna do is func process layer. And the reason I'm doing it in process is because it's quicker than physics process, which is tied to the physics engine, which is 60 FPS. This I can turn vsync off, and it should avoid the lag that I had in the game maker version, which I'm sure I could have sorted out if I had more time to. So global position of the orange should equal the position of the mouse. Get global mouse position. And that's great. But what we're going to do is we're going to need to put a finishing line in, and what I'm going to do is, hey, if the orange is alive and we're touching the finish line, it means we've just finished without dying. So I'm going to do the limes first because I want to make sure that's functional. So like the orange, I'm just going to make an area 2D, call it a lime. I'm going to put it in the limes group, because if I want to delete them later on, it'd be easier to do a delete by group. I'll add a collision shape. It also needs a sphere. I noticed also I need to make sure the sphere matches the size of my orange. I'm going to save this into its own folder, which is going to be called lime, obviously. And put the lime one in. Oops. I put the lime in the orange, that's fine. I'll put it in the lime. Great. Now I can put that over. So this is what I should have done, is I can move this down so we can actually see the collision. Oh, you'll notice that it's a bit blurry, the sprite, so I'm going to highlight both sprites. Go to import, we're going to go to presets, 2D pixel, which I want, re-import. Another thing we're going to do as well is set this as default, so from now on when we drag in a new image, it'll be pixel art by default, which is just filtering off. So we're going to give the orange a little bit of leeway. I'm going to give it about a pixel and a half. We're going to do the same for the orange. So the orange actually needs its sprite put in there. And this needs to be about there. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. So let's go to the main. Now the main, obviously he wants to be an orange in there. What I'm going to do now is the finishing line. Area, okay. So in the finishing line, rather than using an area 2D, I'm just going to use a sprite. And the finishing line is part of the game, so I'm going to put it in there. And drag it in the sprite. Now the sprite needs. Oh, that's huge. I don't know why it's so. Oh, it's because I'm zoomed in. That's why. Is it? I think it is. Anyway, we'll see. So call this finishing line. I'll just finish will do actually. We're going to go to the image, import, and now what's different about this is we want to repeat this. So I can just put enabled equals true, re-import it. Now if I go to my region, I can enable it. You'll notice I've put this to 64 by 64. We've got double, but I only want this to be 32 on this one. And on this one, I don't really mind because we're in a rush. I'm going to say 1,000, so that way I know I've always got enough time. Now, where the finishing line starts is about here, so I'm going to check my orange to this point. Now, so if I get to here, it's going to look a bit weird. You think, well, the orange just touched it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it over to here. Actually, let's just turn this on so it's easier to see what's going on. Alright, 1 pixel by 1 pixel, because we're quite small sprites, really. Yeah, about there, that'll do. Let's put it in the game. Finish. So now I can check if the orange is alive, and is it touching this? And then, yes, it is. We've just won the game, so let's sort of do that. And I move this right down to... In fact, if I just turn center off... And it shouldn't start there as well. Well, let me move this out of the way, because it's... Actually, put that there. I'm going to get rid of that because it's a bit annoying. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go to my main. We're going to drag in the finishing line, which should have its V thing sorted out there. So I'm going to give it a little bit of leeway because we want to see where the sprites are actually spawning. We don't want to have it spawn right on top of us because it wouldn't be fair. So it gives us a bit of a leeway. In fact, you know what? That'll do. That'll be fine actually because we will see it coming. So now if we stretch, we should be okay for this one. I'm going to do a starting line as well, but not checkered flagged. I'm not really sure what to do for the starting line. Oh, I've already done it, haven't I? Ignore that. So same again, I'm just going to make this a sprite 2D. We're going to turn the offset off. And we'll make sure that the transforms looks great. I'm going to drag in the starting line over here. Drag it into the game. And I'm just going to drag it right down. In fact, I'm just going to go crazy. I'm just going to go like that. Oh, you should always name it as well before doing that. Save it. Brilliant. Let's put it in. Oh, I guess. Oh, it's getting the container. The containers. So what happens when you scale things? It actually gets to the container. At least I think that's what happens. Oh, ignore that. In fact, I'll probably edit that out. If I don't, then yeah, you've seen the mistake. There we go. So I want. It doesn't really matter where the orange is. I guess the orange really should go at the bottom of this because it should always be on top. And what I'm going to do for the game as well. In fact, should this all go inside the game? I think they should, you know. Apart from orange. Can I move it across like that? That'd be interesting. No. Okay. Can I cut it and put it in game? I can. Brilliant. That's quite cool. I like that. So I'm going to sort out the sizing as well. So project. I'm going to go to the Windows. Where's the Windows again? I want this to be 10. But yeah, 10, 20, 40. I'll leave it as that. I'm going to make the mode 2D and I'm just going to expand it. Now this doesn't matter too much because it's going to be only playable by HTML and obviously you can't scale that about. You can make it go full screen but they should handle it too. So I can move this over here. Put that under so it's... There we go. So let's just see what this looks like. Oh yeah, start the main scene. Did I auto-load? Yes, you did. So if I full screened it, great. Okay, so I want to do the spawning for the limes. So I can do that in here. I need to go to my game, put in the game there, and I'm gonna Just get rid of this. So another thing I want to do while I'm in game, we can get the finish line. So var finish equals as a sprite equals finish. Var start as a sprite again. It's just quicker for me to do it this way. Start. Okay, did I say something wrong? Oh, I'm ready var, that would help. Yeah, I've been using this for, it's coming up 2 years in November, and I still make mistakes like that. But I don't mind. Especially when I'm in a little bit of a rush. So, what's our time? We're 15 minutes in already. That went quick. So, I want to do a do-win function. Do I do one? Yeah. So if we... No, I'm not going to do the win function first. I'm going to do the create level first. So we're going to make a function. We're going to call it level. In fact, I want to record what level we're on. So var level int equals 0. So we start on level 0, but when we create a new level, which will be when we first ever play, we'll increase the level. So using the level increasement, we can then increase it. We can times that by the limes, right? So we could say, oh, we need lime count. Var lime count int. Let's start it on, let's say 10, because it'd go 10, 20, 40, 80. Yeah, we'll try that first. We can, if we've got enough time, which I'm not really sure we will do, we can see about tweaking it. So what I'm going to say is for I in the range of the count, range line count, I'm going to say a new line. In fact, we need to put in the line here, don't we? So right at the top, I normally do my exports. So export line pat scene, so we know which pat scene we want to find. Come on, I ain't got the time to do this. Hurry up. Var lime scene equals pack scene. So I'm just going to typecast it. Get that. So we want lime equals dot instance. So now we've got an instance of that lime. I want to then add it to the node. So yeah, to do that, I'm going to have to go get node. I could add it to the actual game. It wouldn't really matter. Yeah, let's try doing that. If it doesn't work, then that's fine. Add child lime. Because we're adding it to a canvas layer, that's a little bit dodgy actually. I'm not going to do that. So get node root main add it to that, and then add child. I'm going to add the line. Now, when we do that, we also want to shape where it goes. So it's going to be lime.global position. Ooh, you know what will help if I went like this. Global. There we go. Equal. Oh yeah. Dot y equals random range. Now our random range, we know that we've got a width of, the height of 600. I'm going to say 16 because it's there in the center of the line to a maximum of 600. We'll take 16. We'll take 15 away from 600, which is 585, right? And then global position dot x equals random range. Now I want to start this at the starting line. X, and I want it to be all the way to the finishing line. Just when it first starts, and obviously when the line goes to the end of the screen on the left hand side, we want to then move it to the right hand side. So finish global position dot x, and I'll add a little bit to that just so it's not like popping up. And then yeah, we've added it, we've done that. So I guess one way of making sure that actually works is putting a button in. So let's put a button in here. This is one thing I loved about Godot, and because you can do this, right? You can just use a button, you don't have to make it. Start game. I'll just say start. Ooh, wait, you won't. Yes, you will. I'll turn this off because it's, there we go. I'm going to worry about the font just yet, so I know that if I click on the start, I want the orange to become alive, right? So let's look at the orange. We want to go up here. Let's move this out of the way. So the orange is always going to be following you. By default, it should be invisible, so I'm just going to say on ready. Oops. Func ready. I'm going to say visible equals false. And then when you're alive, it'll be true. Actually, I could have just done it here, it's no biggie. So on create level, I'm going to make sure that the orange is true. Visible. I could just do this. Okay. Equals true. So let's just make sure that it would help if I put a signal in. So on my button, I'm going to make sure this is just called start. Actually, btn start, and I'm going to make sure that our node signals pressed, and I'm going to go to the game. If bts true, then I want to create a level. Start. We haven't found it, that's fine, because I haven't loaded it. So it's looking for something that's nil, which means obviously the scene's not been loaded, so I need to load it in. That's what the thing I do the most, I find, is make that mistake. Right, let's restart. Start again, and what now? We're trying to convert an area 2D into a sprite. To be honest, it doesn't matter about typecasting. That's great. So that's where, oh, it does work. It's just spawned behind here. Now that makes sense because the game is actually, if you go to main, the game is actually here. So one way around that, I guess, is just make sure that my orange index is high. So I can just put it to 10. I know that should be on top of everything that way. And it isn't. Oh no. Is it because I've already placed it? Sometimes it does that. No. Okay. Oh, relative, turn that off. Still doesn't do it. I wonder why that's happening then. Is it because it's, oh, it's a canvas layer. It can't go higher than the canvas layer, of course. In that case, I'm just going to move it over because I don't want to spend too much time doing this. So how can I do that? I can just remove it from here. Save. Go to my game. We should still have collisions with it, right? I'm learning new things doing this one. Okay, so let's just try. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this when it, now I can just orange start, it's there, great, and brilliant. So I want it to go, right, you've touched here, it restarts, and then we're good to go. So let's see what it looks like, big screen. Okay, so what shall I work on next? I guess moving, I want a win thing first, then I'll do the rest. So we've got the orange. Where do I do the check? I guess now we're in here. In fact, let's make sure the limes can interact with the orange, because that would be really bad if it didn't work. So with the orange, I'm going to say if an area enters it, in the orange please. Actually, I could do it in the game, right? Yeah, I'll do it in the game because it seems easier to do it that way. I can then say is alive, is alive equals false, and is visible. Why can't, is visible not there? Oh, I'm in the wrong one, that's why. Orange not visible equals false. Save. So start. Brilliant. So it still works, that's fine. Just making sure I can go over. Oh yeah, and you notice each time we get a new level, it gets more and more. Oops, am I still making them? Uh-oh, that's not good news. Right. So what we're going to do now is oh yeah, so we times it by 2 each time, but in theory we won't ever let it we won't be able to press the button over and over again, so when we do press the button we probably should disable it until we can press it again. But to do that we need a win condition. So let's do the win condition now. The orange, check for win, let's do it there. Physics process, if orange dot global position is equal to or greater than finish dot global position dot x, and make sure it's only the x we're checking against, and is alive, then we know that we've reached the end while being alive. In that case, I want to create a level, but I want to... What do I want to do? I want button to restart to be innate. Let's just get the button. On ready, var, button, btn. So I guess button dot disabled equals false now, but it will be false when we click it, which is here. So upon create level, we're going to make sure that the button is disabled. I also need to make sure that is alive is alive set to true. It's false by default. When we press the create button, the button's visible. Needs to be here. Is alive equals true. In fact, I probably could just do the visible and get rid of this variable. I'll just do that. No, I'm going to leave it because it's just messing around and I shouldn't do that. I've not got much time. So let's go and just see if it enables. It enables, that's great, but I should make this invisible so I can go next level. Great, although I'm not dying then. I don't think I died. What happens? It gets... Oh, so once you're dead, you should probably enable this. Okay, I need to check to do that. So what should we call it? So if we get to the end, I want to change the button. Button dot text equals next. Yeah, next level. Now, if the orange is hit by something, which really it should only be the line, so if area dot is if area is in group line, then we know it's a line that's touched us, then we should make the button enabled. And we should also make the button spawn orange. So let's see. Start. He dies. Spawn orange. He dies. Spawn orange. I should put it back when I click it, right? Also, when I do click it, if you're spawning orange, I don't really want to have to do this again. So I'm just going to say player died equals false by default. However, if it's false, oh man. Create level. We don't want to do this if we're coming from the players, if we're spawning the player. So I'm going to go if player died. If we're not player died, sorry, then yeah, we do want to do this. Else, we'll just do this bit here. And then where's the player? Create level. So if I press button start, if button.text equals spawn orange, then we know that it's true. Where else? It's just a normal creation of a level. So make sure that works. So I click it. Now if I click it again, there shouldn't be more. Brilliant. But if I manage to get to the end, click it again, there's more. That's great. The only issue is this button's huge now, and I would like it not to be that big. Is there any way I could have make the text go downwards? I'm sure there might be. Or I could just increase the size of this. Yeah, that'll do. I haven't got really time to mess around. I could scale it and make it a bit different, although now that's going to go a bit funky. I think it's about here, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually have the lines moving across. Spawn orange, new level. And I need to make this invisible when new level comes up. So let's do that now, just finish the win stuff. How much time have I got left? So over half the time has passed, which is a bit worrying, but I've got quite a bit done, I think, for the time. I'm trying to talk as well. Okay, so if we do manage to do this, I also want to do is alive is false. Is it false? Because we don't want to hit a line on the way back, and is visible orange visible equals false. So let me just know where one is, 100% certain. So I know one's there, so I go there. Oh, so it still hits it. So that's fine. I'm glad I did that check. So we are hitting the line, and I guess I could say and is alive. This way that should stop that. Start. And back. Brilliant. But if you go really fast, you can kind of get there, right? So what happens if... Yeah, you could just zoom like this, which is a bit annoying. I haven't really got time to fix that though. So one thing that I don't like is that we just add to it. Actually, no, I don't mind adding to it, but I guess we're adding quite a bit at one go. That's the only issue. So I'm going to kill every single line before adding twice the previous count. So let's do that now. So I can do it in here. I'm just going to say before we start spawning lines, let's remove the ones we've already got. Now you'll notice I put it in a group. So for that I can just go for I in get tree dot node in get node in groups and line. So I will basically be, it will be a line, and we're going to go for every single one. So I.u3. So this time, when we do spawn, it'll look like that they're being moved. There'll be more each time. Oh, I've got a winter. There you go, and you can tell there's a little bit more. Yeah, it gets hectic pretty quick. Now, I need to start making these move, else they're a bit pointless. Also, I don't like the limes being underneath this, because you could get hit on the way out. Now, that makes me think that it's probably better just to spawn a line in the game, which makes it kind of pointless having a main now, really. Oh well, it doesn't matter, it's too late. Where can I spawn the limes down? So I'm getting it on the move. I guess I don't even need to do that, I can just do it here. And if it's that simple, that would make life a lot easier. There we go. And it's on top, and I hit it. Brilliant. So, the only issue with this now is that I kind of want to add like glowy effects, and you can do that with canvas layer, but it's just messing about. So I guess if we don't need the canvas layer anymore, we can just cut and put it into main, right? Now I want to make sure this is working as it should do, which I was worried about. I guess because we need to move that over, so I guess I could say main. That'd be stupid. We could say position 2D. No, wait, no 2D. Wow. And then obviously save it, and I'll move main over. Load game, and I can remove it. Remove that singleton because I no longer need it. And let's see if this works. Oh man, I've made a vital error. Is that because I've got to do all the connections again? Yeah. Or not? Am I adding it to... Let me just see. So that's not happening. Okay, so disconnect, pressed, into main, connect. See if this works now. There we go. Although it's more of a nil issue. So yeah, I've got to do a few things. Maybe shouldn't have done this, but it's happened. Connect, turn that off. Hopefully this should work. Oh, wow, it really yeah, it's just about reconnecting the signals again. Okay, we're good. I mean, that cost me a bit, but it's fine. So we've got about 20 minutes left, and apart from having a score, I'm pretty much the same part of where I was on the Game Maker project. I think the Game Maker project looked better, but yeah. What am I doing? I am trying to think. Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Project. I want to go to my general. I'm going to go to my renderer. Where would that be? I'll make it black. Let's see if this helps. Okay, a little bit, I guess. At least the contrast is good enough to know. Obviously, the lines are not moving, so I'm not really where I was in the Game Maker. So, var min speed equals, say, 100. Var max speed equals 300. How am I moving this across? This is on the line. So I don't really want to put it in the game, I want to do it on the line. And then funk ready. I want to then say, oh, we need speed as well. Speed equals random range. So we want to make sure the speed is randomly anywhere from speed to max speed. So that's what happens when it first loads up. And then on physics process, I want to get the global position.x and I want to minus the speed from it times by delta. The reason we're using delta is because if you've got a slower machine and your FPS is slower, it would mess up. And if your machine was really fast and the FPS was say 1,000, it would just I'm doing hand points, realise you can't see, but yeah, the line would shoot across the screen. You would barely see it. So if our global position of the line .x is equal to, I guess we're going to need to do a get parent, which should be the main, and then we're going to get a node, and it's going to be what we're doing, start, and then start. Yeah. Start dot global position x is, yeah, if it's less than the global position of the start, then we know that it's got to the end. Then we want to reset it. So global position dot x equals, oh man, we need to do it with this one as well. Undo this again. Instead of start, we're going to say finish. And we'll just plus. Do you know what? I know it's 240 anyway, so let's say 2, 1. In fact, let's go. Let's see. 240. No, I'm going to do it this way. What else do I need? Oh yeah, and the global position, I'm going to randomize it so it's not the same one on the y-axis. So random change, and we know 16 to say 585, and obviously we're adding it. Okay, so let's just see what that looks like. Oh, there's a big gap. Huge gap. Okay, so there's a reason for that, isn't there? Maybe 50's too big? Yeah. Oh. Is that hitting me? Okay, that's good news. At least that's sorted out. It seems that they're spawning a bit too far away. Let's see if this fixes that. Yeah, that is working. It just looks a bit weird, that's all. So you could have some really... I mean, it starts off easy enough, it's the whole point. Oh yeah, I've still got the issue where the lime's spawning behind. Now I want the lime to spawn in front so you don't accidentally hit a line before you cross the line. So why is that happening then? If I'm adding it to main, it should be... Do you know what? It's fine. I'll just make sure the lime's always on top. And to do that, we can go to our Z index and just say 10, so it's always on top. That didn't work. I wonder why that's not working. Let me just check. Line. Now the line needs to be on main. So it would start at the bottom. It is at the top. Maybe it's just moving so fast. It doesn't look like it. Let's make it bigger. Do you know what I'm going to do? Just to give it a bit of a fair chance. I don't want the player to get hit by something that feels a bit out of their control. It looks ugly, but... Oh, it's starting from the line position, that's why. Line, when you go off, don't do that. Yeah, that's a bit better. I mean, some of these are moving quite fast, so I do think maybe having a bigger line. So what would I do? I'd go like this. Whoa, yeah. I think they're just too fast. Now, when you get a lot of them, it really will. Let's see. Holy monkey. That went up way too fast. Okay, that seems to go from too easy to rock hard. And that's just because of the thingy. It's not very well balanced. So I want to balance this a little bit better, just so at least there's a little bit of a difference. So ×2 doesn't seem to be great. I guess I could go... plus level times 5. So I'll say plus 20, then plus the level times 5. And maybe start it on 30. So that's how it starts, which I think is too much. Let's say 10. Yeah, that's fine. That's a bit better. I mean, I could just add it 20 each time, maybe. Yeah. Just for now, I'm just going to add 20 each time. It just seems to be the way forward. Oh no, that's weird. In fact, let's just get rid of that. Got about 12 minutes left. Less, just under. Oops. Okay. It would be interesting to see what level we are on. Yeah. So see what level we're on. I'll say level 1. F. Oops. Move you over. I've got some fonts, so I'm just going to nick some of these. Not disposable, it's on deeper. Where's the normal one? I think it's that one. Let me move it over. I did use fonts on the Game Maker one, so it's totally fine. We're going to custom fonts. Dynamic font. Move you over. And then I want to make this a lot bigger. Let's see. Level 1. I don't know, it's pretty big, isn't it? Actually, I could just have it here. What am I thinking? Maybe something you can see it a bit better. Oops. All that. Okay. So I want obviously this to increase. And I could do it here. Yeah, I could do it here, so it'll increase. Yeah, that makes more sense. So dot text equals level, and then plus var to string, and it'll be the level.
You could be running your business on your own, but the next month you need some help. That's
Oh.
That
didn't work.
contracts can flex as your needs change. And
Yeah, that.
you can also save £108 on the Samsung Galaxy S20.
That makes sense.
Choose the flexible network.
And maybe I should make it so this makes sense too. Oh, it would have been nice if that. Where is it? There you are. Hopefully this will work. I don't think it will. Have I? No, it didn't. Okay. I mean, you shouldn't be able to do that anyway, so it's no biggie. So, level 1, dunk, and then poof, level 2. Great. So at least I know what level we're on. And I guess I could make a game like who can get to the fastest level. Now, I'm sure you can, yeah, you can cheat just like the Game Maker one. I don't know how to stop that as well, which is really frustrating. I would like, actually, you know what I'd like to do is, if you do that, if you moved here, it would follow your mouse still. Maybe if your mouse leaves, then yeah, you die. Can I, yeah. I can still cheat doing that as well. Anyway, how long have I got? So I've got about 7 minutes left. I'm struggling to think what to add. I guess I can go to my lime and I could add some. Actually, you know what I could do? Particle effects when you get hit. So where's my orange? Where did I do it? I didn't here, didn't I? So let's make some particles. Particles. I'm going to call it orange part. Let's make it 800 for a laugh. Process material is going to be particles. Press F so I can see it. Texture. I could technically do it in oranges. I'll just make them smaller, right? Make the scale, I guess, 0.1 to 0.1. Make the alpha angle, direction, gravity. I want gravity off. I want initial velocity, just turn it on. I guess I could have the spread 180. That's great. It's a bit too violent. Let's go random as well. What I want to do is the colour. I'm going to leave the colour as. Do you know what? I'm going to change it actually. I'm going to make it a little bit bright. Come on. And I'm going to make this just. Boom. I'm going to get a colour picker. Where is it? Just so it's the right orange. That's better. Same thing again. And then with this one, oh, that didn't work. Because you've got to select it, that's why. Now the good thing about this one is I want to mess around with these values. So I'm going to make this, add 2 to each one, so 1 point, what would this be then? Adding 1 to it. This would be 7, and this would be 2. There we go. So we should have some sort of brightness happening in a second. I'm just going to add into my world environment node. Got 5 minutes, so I don't know if I'm actually going to manage to make this. Background, canvas layer, glow, turn it on, turn back hues on, make it additive, and then I'm just going to put the move that out of the way, save the particles just so I can see what I'm working with. Yeah, orange particles. I just want to put them in the game, see what it would kind of look like. You don't really see any glow, right? Oh, because it's not got a background too. Maybe put a texture background on. Ah, come on. Let's say this colour and this colour. Maybe it's just a bit too much. I don't even see it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to use this because I can't spend all day messing about. And then where's the BG? Make sure that this is obviously in the very start, so it's behind everything. Okay, let's just see what this looks like. I'm a little bit curious why this is not glowing. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that just too much because I'm not going to have time to put glow in then, I guess. Go to the top. I want it just to be one shot, and I want it to be quite explosive. Or not. Let's just not go silly then, let's go with this. Yeah, and I would like him just to not do that. I thought I had that covered. Oh, you didn't, that's why. Okay, so what time have we got? Oh, I've got a lesson in a minute. I'm not going to manage this. Create a script. Create. Add timer. Timeout. Key free. Save. Game. Load. Damn, where did I put them? Open, save, do that. Right, so when we touch an orange, I want to spawn this, so I'm going to say var part equals orange part dot instance. Oh, don't do that, please. Then I want to get that it's on the parent already, so I guess I can say add child part. Oh, I've gone past it, damn it. Well, yeah, I failed then. I'm just going to add this in. Yeah, I've just done it. So I was literally just like a line or two off. Equals orange dot global position. Ah, didn't do it anyway. I put it in the wrong one. Never mind. Wow. Okay, so I screwed that one up, that's fine. There we go. So yeah, just over 2 minutes. I mean, yeah, just about 2 minutes over, right? I could have done better, but it was hard. I found this harder because I was talking the code out a lot, trying to explain it. But you know, those are excuses. The game, however, you know, it works. I don't know if it's any better because you know I try not to test too much. You can cheat really easy, which I don't know how to stop. I guess I could do, you know, if your mouse is moving too fast, it fails you instantly, so you could get your last position to your next position. In fact, I'm going to do that on stream. I'll be doing that later, but first I'm going to edit this one and upload it. So if you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and if you've got Discord, need any help, just it'll be in the description, pop in.